Merry Christmas, everyone. Today I want to show you 3 Christmas projects that I've created throughout my life. One of them I just made last Christmas. I'm going to go over what they are and how you can make something similar. Now let's get into the video. The first thing I want to show you is this clownfish snow globe. I made this just a few weeks ago, and I think it's one of the nicest woodworking projects I've made. The inspiration for this project comes from our 2 clownfish, which we got last year. I had a glass globe from many years ago from when I bought a snow globe and disassembled it. I figured I would finally put it to good use by making a fish snow globe, since it kind of resembles a fishbowl. The first thing I did was make the clownfish itself. I used a 3D model of a clownfish online to get a general sketch of the fish's front, side, and top profiles. I drew the shapes on a block of balsa wood and sanded it down with a belt sander. Then I started cutting and gluing more pieces of balsa wood for the fins. I used a Dremel to smooth out everything and get the shapes right. Once I was finished, I painted it with several layers of acrylic paint and let it dry. The next step was to make the base. I first glued 4 pieces of plywood together. They all had a circle cut out in the middle, and the bottom piece had a slightly larger circle cut out of it so that I could mount a disc to it. Here you can see most of the pieces. The brown disc was mounted on the bottom of the base with screws, and 3 of those plywood circles were stacked to make a pedestal for the fish. This is what it looked like assembled, and the fish is mounted in the wood with a needle. I made the main base piece by cutting the 4 plywood pieces into a cylinder, and then adding the tapered edge with my belt sander by lowering the table. I used polyacrylic to make the base smooth, and then I painted it maroon. The glass globe was hot glued to the base, and the last thing I did was glue cotton balls to the pedestal to hide the seams when it was assembled. This is what the finished product looks like. You can see on the bottom how the brown disc was mounted to the plywood with screws. I really like the way this project turned out, but another favorite of mine is the Christmas jigsaw puzzle I made in 2020. My goal was to make a puzzle that was abstract, so you could not tell what the picture was until the puzzle was finished. As you can see, there's a Christmas tree in the middle when all the pieces are together. I call it a jigsaw puzzle, but really it should be called a scroll saw puzzle. I got this scroll saw back when I was making gears for my wooden pendulum clock, and I used it to cut all the pieces of this puzzle. It was a really simple process. First, I made some abstract paintings with acrylic paints. These were painted on rectangles cut out of a regular MDF board. To make the pieces, I printed out a puzzle template I found online and glued it to the top of the painting. Then I just used the lines to guide the cutting on the scroll saw. Once the pieces were cut, I made them shiny with some wipe-on polyurethane. I did end up completing both puzzles, but I like the red one a lot more. The puzzle does have a fair bit of give, but all the pieces do still stay together. The very last thing I want to show you is a small project I did in 2019. This is a Christmas ornament I made to look like the Star of Bethlehem. It's just made out of bamboo skewers and hot glue. I also spray painted it gold at the end, but I think it's a really cool piece. Anyway, those are all the projects I wanted to show you. As usual, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.